I love his interviews with Henry Rollins, specifically the first one he did, where Henry Rollins is kind of like a predator trying to choose if he can eat what's in front of him or not, and he's just kind of like, okay, you're all right. Like, he realizes.
Henry Rollins is just funny in general when it comes to interviews or like speeches.
Living. Being him.
Yeah. He's got a big ass chip on his shoulder still, it seems like, when you're listening to him talk. But
and he's like, I went to Iraq, okay? Or he goes to random countries and does documentary situations.
What countries?
I believe Iraq was one of them. I don't know. You can check me on that.
Yeah, Henry Rollins, I feel like I talked about getting the van before on here, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, you've probably talked about the story of how he decided he wanted to be in
Black Flag.
Yeah, I talk about it all the time, just like in terms of the impact it had on me, in terms of making the decision of like, do I want to be complacent, being subservient to people my entire life, or do I want to try and carve out a different path?
Yeah.
And reflecting on like Henry Rollins and like who he is, it's like I've just realized more and more over time, like, oh yeah, he's just like just when I think of like polarizing person, or just in terms of their energy, it's not like their views or their opinions, just like in their being. I think of Henry Rollins because he's just so extreme, you know?
Right.
Yeah,
like in his exactly, intense,
super
like
intense.
Just in his, it's like everything is all or nothing.
Yeah,
you know?
He's got like military dad energy.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's but over just social stuff.
Yeah,
just like,
like
regular social stuff. Like
right.
not even like
it's the most like, no, you cannot date my daughter.
Right.
Thank you very much.
He's like, I don't have sex. I don't date. I don't talk to women. You know, it's like he's like,
I've seen the video of him like, what do I need a girlfriend for? Is she going to the gym? If she's not going to the gym, I don't need her. If she's a smoker, I don't want her. If she drinks, I don't want her. Like,
exactly.
All those straight edge guys.
Yeah.
I feel like we have a bad habit in this show of like, I'll just try to think of things I know about someone, and they're always like their worst possible thing.
Yeah. Right.
But
I wanted to start with he had an huge impact on positive impact on my life.
No, I'm saying this on my end because the first thing I thought of was how he said Robin Williams was.
Wait, when did he say that? This was when Robin Williams was alive.
I'm literally lightheaded from laughing so hard just now.
I want to know when and why. I want to know everything.
He said Robin Williams was a coward for killing himself.
Whoa! It's literally my point. It's literally my point.
Well, I was just like, well, that's the first thing I thought to bring up.
Right.
And I'm like, damn, are we all just remembered by our worst moments?
Was this fresh? Yeah. Was this fresh after?
No,
he didn't even know. We didn't even have the context.
You think he didn't say this, but I can just imagine. You think I'm fucking mourning that chump? He just let down his whole thing. That chump, that jabroni, that punk. You got to go to the gym and do overhead presses, and dips.
Get it out of your system.
Yeah. Right.
Get it out of your system.
You can either choose to how dare you make the choice not to live through this perfectly acceptable reality?
Right.
No one would ever.
Right.
Only a coward would look at this and be like, I don't want to be here. That's ridiculous.
What kind of man could live 50 years on this earth and just not know they're gay?
Yeah.
What kind of man?
You don't want to live in the world where children get cancer, you fucking coward. Yeah. R.I.P. Robbie Dubs. But
my Robin Williams thought, literally, when people say Robin Williams, the first thing I think about is again, this is fresh after he died.
Yeah.
And Joe Rogan's like,
he stole jokes, right?
He did steal jokes.
Oh my God, I remember this.
Yeah.
Of course he has to be that. Because look,
it was a lot of comedians.
I had many thoughts that day when that happened. That was one of them, but it wasn't like, let's lead with this.
My thought was like, I know people are gonna say this. I feel like it's always that for me. It's
here's another thought.
Yeah, I know that, but like,
here's another thought. Like, Robin Williams is more comedically talented than Joe Rogan if he never said anything original in his life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he has more talent as just an actor. You can set all the comedy aside. Yeah, anyways. But yeah, that was one of the first thoughts. I'm also just thinking of Robin Williams from heaven, just be like, oh, Henry Rollins, don't be mad. Oh, it's okay, I forgive you.
Right.
Even though you're not sorry, I forgive you.
Yeah. I'm just
You're still in pain.
I'm just picturing a perfect scenario.
You
where-
have trauma you haven't worked out still.
My problems are solved.
right.
You're still working through a lot.
Yeah.
I'm just picturing him from heaven being like, he stole jokes, right? He was like, yeah, that's where all yours went. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking Henry Rollins, man.
Henry Rollins, man.
But yeah.
It's a legend, though.
Yeah,
It's
a living
totally.
legend.
Much respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Get
hey,
in the van. It's worth exploring.
Is that a
It's
Yeah,
a
I don't know
book.
that.
book? Okay.
But you can find lots of like good interviews
Yeah.
where he's kind of just unpacking the crux of it too.